Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chef P and I'm so happy to be with you today. We're making some stuffed meatballs, yes! So let's get started. We're gonna use a nice lean meat, lean turkey, but let's get started on our sides. I've got some rolling boiling water and I just have like a double pot here. So you could put one colander pot inside the other. And then I've got some spaghetti of choice. You can use some rigatoni, you can use even elbow macaroni to make kind of like a nice stroganoff kind of pasta. Use any pasta that you have. And I already salted the water. I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil, just a capful, just to get them from sticking together and to also season up flavor of the water. And then we're gonna let that go for 8 minutes. Pasta takes about 8 minutes to cook. And then in the meantime, what else I did was I had lined some, a baking sheet with some whole wheat bread. Now, this is a shortcut. If you don't have breadcrumbs at home, then you can use some whole wheat bread, stick it in the oven. My oven's on 400 degrees, and then it comes out toasted like this, so you can use a regular toaster. So that will be our breadcrumb of choice for today. You can use panko breadcrumbs. It doesn't have to be whole wheat bread, but this is a more healthier way to control the types of grains that you're having. So our meatballs. I'm gonna start with the flavor aspects of it because we're using lean meat, using turkey meat, and we want to give it some oomph, some flavor. I started off with some Dijon mustard and a little bit of ketchup, a tablespoon of each. We're gonna crack an egg and we're gonna add a little bit of water, just like 2 tablespoons. Always very clumsy. A couple tablespoons of water to thin it out. Your whisk, and we're just gonna whisk all of this together. Smells really good. Now the egg acts as a thickening agent. It's a binder, and also the breadcrumbs is gonna be your binder. So you're gonna take one of your slices of bread, and you're just gonna crumble it up, right? And it's already toasted. And you want to do a rough chop, and you can just like have fun with it. All your crumbs, get them inside there nice. If you get some clumps, you can just put it together yourself. All right, and then you're gonna mix all of that together. Now, I'm gonna let that bread soak up the egg and everything. I'm gonna set that to the side while I start seasoning up my meat. So, meat of choice. We've got some turkey ground beef. You can use regular ground beef, but usually they have it about 80-20, 80% meat, 20% fat. But I want to be a little bit leaner. This is 93% turkey meat and 7% fat. So you're gonna save a lot on the meat. I'm gonna glove up because we're gonna get a little messy, right? And I've got a selection of seasonings. I'm gonna season up our meat, introduce some flavor, because usually with the leaner meats that have less fat, it also has less flavor. So let's start off with a little salt and pepper, S&P. I'm gonna sprinkle a little salt and pepper all over. And then I've got some Italian herbs. I got some oregano, I've got some basil, and you can choose whichever seasonings you like in your own pantry. I got a little bit of adobo. So adobo is like a mixture of garlic, onion, a little bit of salt. I'm just gonna add a little extra garlic because I love that garlic flavor. And then I have a little bit of cumin. So I love adding cumin to meat because it gives it like a really bold flavor. So with that, we've got all of our seasonings together. Smells really good. And you're just gonna take your hands and you're gonna dig in. You're gonna combine all of the seasonings together. And then we're gonna take our bread crumb mixture with the egg. We're gonna go in with that. It's really good. So we're gonna have some nice flavorful meatballs. And then you can get your hands back in there. Have some fun with this. You can get the kids involved. I used to love making meatballs as a kid. It's my favorite meal, spaghetti and meatballs. Right. Awesome. Last thing I want to add as a little bit of flavor is our Parmesan cheese. Add a little Parmesan. It does give a little salty bite. And it's like, what's that flavor? Parmesan cheese. All right, so just trying to be clean for you guys. I'm putting on the next set of gloves and we're gonna start rolling out our meatballs. Now this is like a science, so bear with me because once you do it this way, you're never gonna wanna do it another way again. Right? All right, so I got my scale and then I have my cupcake tins. So I'm gonna line my cupcake tins with a little bit of non-stick cooking spray. And then I've got my scale with a little bit of plastic on it just to make sure that it's clean. And I'm going to weigh them about 1.5 ounces, so 1.5 ounces of meat. It's a little less. Okay, so that's 1.5. And I've got some mozzarella. So these are like, if you ever see these in the store, it's like a little stick of mozzarella. I put them into little bite-sized pieces here. And then you're gonna take your 1.5 ounces of meat, turkey meat, and then you're gonna go in the middle of it and just put a little stuffing in there. Stuff you in there, nice and cozy. And then we're gonna roll them up and then put them inside of our cupcake tin. So that way, you know, everybody gets the same size meatball. No, oh, this meatball is bigger than mine. Everybody gets the same size, same amount of meat, right? Again, and stuck it in like a little pocket. So it's like a surprise. When we bake them up, it's gonna be like cheesy in the inside and a little bit crisp on the outside. All right, make sure you weigh it. 1.5, perfect. Okay. So I'm gonna keep going to see if I can get like 6 done for you. 1.5. Take your cheese. Now this is one way you can introduce some flavors. And share with me in the description box below what types of seasonings, what type of flavors you like to use for your meatballs. Okay. 1.5. And one more I'm going to try to do for you. 6. I'm already at 6. So that's one complete set like that. And then we're gonna get them in the oven. I have my oven at 400 degrees. And we're gonna leave them in there for about 10 minutes. And then they're gonna come out brown and gooey in the middle. We're gonna add our pasta and our sauce together. Okay, so it's been about 12 minutes. I'm gonna strain off my pasta and I'm gonna season that up. So we're gonna layer on a little bit of flavor for our pasta. Oops. Beautiful. And give yourself a little bit of a facial because of all the steam that comes up. Okay, and then we're gonna add a little bit of S&P, some salt and pepper. Gonna flavor up our pasta and a little bit of butter. You can use olive oil, but I like to use a little bit of butter. Just try to get the one that is like a light variety. And then we're gonna let that set up. Okay, so put this to the side. Now, one thing I did get prepared is a little bit of marinara sauce. In the meantime, I had some marinara sauce around, so we're gonna just lightly coat our meatballs with that. Now, for the finale, I've got my stuffed meatballs. They're ready out of the oven. Remember, they were at 400 degrees, and they came out a little brown, a little crispy on the edges. I'm gonna take our meatballs and coat them in our tomato sauce. And you see a couple of them are like already oozing a little bit. And then a little bit of fat, it stays inside of the muffin tin, so it's not in your meat. Okay, just gonna coat these up. And I have a little extra sauce for the pasta itself. Ooh. Okay, so you can even make these in bulk. You can make a lot of them and then bake them all off and make it for a crowd. It's more affordable that way. So let's do a nice plating. We're gonna do some pasta, a little bit more. Oh, it's really clumsy, but you know, you're creative in the kitchen. You know, make sure at least it tastes good. Okay, all right. A little bit of pasta, a little bit of that meat. Give myself like 2 or 3 per serving. And I want to just show you how delectable this comes out with the cheese. Okay, so you can see that cheese in the middle, surprise. Love it. Okay, and if you have on the side also a little garden salad, it's just some croutons and some romaine lettuce. This is optional. Just give yourself a little green on the plate. And there you are. We have our stuffed meatballs, our stuffed turkey meatballs, and what delicious dessert will go with this is some ice cream. So I'm putting in the description box below our previous video on how to make some nice ice cream as a dessert. And bon appetit, enjoy.